I'm working with a student who's 14 years of age. As per an assessment report, he has been diagnosed with difficulties in written language and math. Right now, we will be doing a session on how to improve writing skills, specifically creative expression as well as written comprehension. Now, what we're going to be doing is you are going to write a small composition as per the paper which is given here. Okay. Now what is written over here is write a story using action, mood, sound and feeling words. Right? Write a make-believe story. What do you understand by make-believe story?
It should come like a real story.
Okay.
And
what do you understand by the words make-believe?
Means make it a story which can be believed by someone.
Okay.
And
okay, let's get on to the picture here. What does the picture actually say?
it's a windy windy weather, and there's a person who left his car and going to his house for safety.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's dark also, so he's scared that there will be a ghost or something. So he's going inside his house for safety.
Okay. Now tell me one thing. This is what I want you to understand. What do I mean by make believe? Okay. Have you personally heard of a real story, revolving around such an environment? Or have you yourself experienced or been in a situation which looks like this?
Never.
No, right? Okay, so that's what we mean by make believe. That it may not be something that's really happened to you in real life. Okay? Therefore, you're going to use all your imagination, your expression, maybe all your fantasies and all those books that you've read which are very scary. And so you're going to make up a story which may be realistic, okay, but actually it's not quite possible. So that's why it's known as a make-believe story. Alright? Okay? Alright. Have you read any books which are like ghost stories or haunted houses or anything like that? You don't? No?
I don't.
Okay. What are the kind of books that you like to read?
I don't read books.
Okay. Do you watch any television shows?
Yeah, only songs. I like to hear two songs.
You like to listen to songs. Okay. But you haven't really watched any kind of, these thriller serials are there?
Not serials, movies.
Movies. Okay. So, do you recall any movie that you have watched which is like, revolving such a thing, all this ghosts and...
It's a Hindi movie.
Yeah, which one?
Bhul Bhulaiya.
Bhul Bhulaiya. You had seen that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was that story about?
There was one boy who fell in love with a girl, and she was staying with her grandmother, and grandmother used to tell her stories about ghosts and the ancient time stories,
Okay.
like the big palaces and that all.
Right.
And then when she married that boy and came to that place where the whole family was settled, she loved palaces, so that boy got a palace for her. And then when she went in there, she used to become like a dancer, like Manjulika or something. So she used
Where she was possessed.
Yeah, where she was
Okay.
possessed. So she used to do that dances, and she used to make noises in that all. And that boy was scared that what's the problem with her.
Okay, were you scared
I was not scared.
when you're watching the movie? Okay. Now, you know what? I'm going to stop you on that because you kind of can now recollect what the environment of that movie was and things like that. Okay. What I would like you to do, before you actually start writing out the story, today, right now in this session, what I would want to do is, I want you to kind of start imagining maybe yourself in the story, or you can write it just as a person who knew about such an event that took place. And I want you to write down about 5 or 6 points, which will be an outline. Okay?
About the story.
About the story. And the best way really to start writing a story is to first find a title for it. Okay? So you can start with a title. If you're having difficulty with a title, start thinking of different points. By points,
like a essay plan.
Yes. So just write down those points first. Then give a title, or the other way around. Yeah. And then actual writing of the essay we can probably do in the next session. Okay? So can we start on that? Yeah. You have this in front of you. Okay. Do this in about another 2-3 minutes. Yeah, that should not take you long. Then we can talk maybe a little more about it. Ronak, can I interrupt you here?
Yeah.
Now, when you're writing points for an essay, what you've done is you've written an entire sentence, right? The easiest way to make points is to maybe write down your points in single words or phrases. Okay? Have you seen those story outlines in many of these printed books? They write few words and then a dash. Few words and a dash. Yeah? So you're kind of making a story outline. Right? So try not to write complete sentences, because you're spending a lot of time on that, and then you're not really arriving to the point. So when you've said there is a boy who is scared and parked his car and ran inside the house, ran inside his house, but then you're kind of just describing the whole thing in one sentence. That's not really what we're looking for. Okay?
Means scared boy.
Yeah.
That. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Dark night, very little light, house looking haunted, boy looking scared. Okay, try and put those points down, which will help you then to write a story. Yeah, shall we try that?
Okay.
And number your points.
Just write in one sentence, putting a dash.
Yes, perfect. Okay, I think that's sufficient. Now, you can continue on this. In fact, I'd like you to take this home and continue on this, because maybe you need a little more time on hand for your imagination to run wild. Alright, okay? So take this home. This picture is only meant to stimulate your thinking. Alright? However, you can bring in maybe some ideas from some books you've read, or some movies you've seen, or some stories you heard from someone, okay? And then add on to this. Maybe some points you can cancel out.
Sure.
And then your final draft, you will have it ready when you say, okay, now I'm happy the way my story is going to go. And then you can actually start writing it out.
Yeah.
Alright? Okay, yeah? Alright. Now, we'll stop with this and maybe move on to something else.
Okay.
Alright? Okay, thank you.